What's up guys, today I'm going to be installing carbon frame and swing arm covers from Extreme Components. As you can see, the side fairings are already removed because I just finished removing the servo motor. I'm not going to be showing you how to remove the side fairing. If you need to see how, I'm going to link the video of how to remove the servo, which I'm showing how to remove the side fairing. So let's go ahead and begin installing these. All right, so once you remove the side fairing, the next step will be to remove the air intake, this one. Then second, you will have to remove this side panel, and you will have to remove the foot pegs and the exhaust. We might have to lift the tank to see if I can pass zip ties to hold the carbon covers in place. We might not, I'm not sure, but let's start first with air intake. Okay, for the air intake, you're gonna need one 4mm hex here. Then you will need 10mm for this here. This is a 10mm socket to remove the nut. And there's one more nut from the other side that the ratchet cannot fit. If you come from top here, you'll have to insert the 10mm wrench in order to remove it. Like that. And that's out. All right, next step, I'm gonna go with a side panel with a 4mm. There are 3 screws, 1, 2, and 3 underneath. There you go. Okay, so next step will be to remove the exhaust. Since I have the GP22, I have 2 10mm nuts, one here and one here. If you have the stock exhaust, I believe this is gonna be a 13mm. But for us, it's a 10. We also have a 10mm here for the clamp. Let's see if we can pry away the exhaust. Perfect. There's a GP22. All right. Okay, next step, we have to remove the foot pegs with a 6mm hex. Gonna use this for speed. All right, we also have the bracket underneath for the GP22. Okay. So we'll have to keep this in the side so we can make space for the frame cover. Okay, once you've removed everything, the next step is to test fitment of the cover before you add any adhesive. I actually already tried to test the fitment, but I have an issue over here. Basically, this hole, I cannot make it to a line to pass through here. I thought that maybe if I lift the tank or all up, I went and released the tank and I put it through here, I will be able to fit it, but it still doesn't go in over here. So, 2 solutions. One, you either remove this bolt to remove this fairing mount, but this bolt is the engine mount, so I'm not sure if I remove this if the engine will pivot to the point that I won't be able to realign it, and that's a job that I don't want to open at this moment because that means I would have to remove the bottom fairing, bring a lift to lift the engine if that happens. It might not happen, I'm just not willing to find out. So the second solution I have is, instead of me removing this, to just bend it. Now, I'm not sure that by bending it, I could break it, but I guess we can find out if it will bend. just a little bit, just to bring it a little down, to make this space to be able to align it. There you go, see? Now I can make it, now that I brought it down a little bit, I can actually make it fit through here perfect. Before I wasn't able to do that. Hopefully this tiny bend that I put on it, it won't affect it to the point that it could break. And all the thing I found is that over here, where the engine is in the frame, it's super tight. You actually have to, like, if you see here, see, it's super tight to go in there. It's actually kind of a good thing because, like, I could literally not use adhesive at all and just leave it over here and it will still stay in place. As you can see here, see, this goes nowhere. And this is without an adhesive. So the goal is right now to find the points where we need to use double-sided tape. So I see one point over here. That will be one spot. One spot will be down here. 1, 2. We can definitely use here in the middle. Not here, not here, and maybe here. Perfect. So all we need to do is remove it, put double-sided tape in these spots, and reinsert it. Okay, so before we place any adhesive on, I'm going to clean the frame with alcohol all the way around, and I will also clean the, say, dirt everywhere. We'll also clean the cover with some alcohol. Make sure the adhesive will stick better. Okay, over here. Okay, so for the double-sided tape, I'm going to be using Gorilla mounting tape, heavy duty. I got 60 pounds per inch or something, per 1 pound per 2 inch, whatever. I think this is gonna be enough, so we'll try it. All right, so now we have to make sure that the placement will be correct at once, because we don't want it to adhere at the frame. Okay, that's one here. There you go. Okay, so now that I installed the cover, I noticed that on this spot specifically, it's not strong enough to adhere. There you go, see, it doesn't adhere. I could zip tie it, but I have a feeling that it will still not adhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use sealant, silicone sealant. I'm gonna put it under here using this, in there, and then zip tie it so I can keep this in place. Okay, so I'll pass the zip tie first. There we go. I'll leave it here, and then take some silicone. Make sure that all the way out. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Put it all the way in there. Put the zip tie in. just hold it there. Okay, now for the swing arm, first we have to remove the rear spool. It's I believe 4mm. Remove this to make space so we can fit the carbon cover. Okay, that's out. Plus we're going to be changing this with Rizoma. All right, so before we do anything, we're just gonna test fitment again. To do that, actually, you have to go from underneath here. Don't go on top, underneath here, and then push it up in order to fit it, just like that. And when that passes through, now for here on the top, you have 1, 2, 3 clips that hold the rear brake. All you'll have to do is push it in place underneath here. Just lift it. And once that's in place, you're gonna push it in place. It just clips underneath this. And just like that, it's in position. So I know that we're gonna need some adhesive here where the exhaust is. And maybe some here on the top and some here. Okay, pretty much stays on its own, but of course the spool will also keep it in place as a safety, and the adhesive here to keep it away from the exhaust so we can push it in. Okay, let's remove it, clean it, and reinstall it with double-sided tape. All right, now that we have the double-sided tape on, we're gonna go the same way, underneath, and then up. There you go. And then go underneath this clips, push it all the way in, right there. Okay. All right, push all the way back, and then push this in so I can click in over there. Same thing with this. And then the exhaust part, which is the most important part, it's over here because we want this to adhere very good so it doesn't touch the exhaust. And then this part over here. Okay, the exhaust part is the most important part that you want it to be adhered all the way in. Then here, once we place the spool, this is gonna keep it in place also. And also added some double-sided tape up here. The bottom part is already has pressure, it's not going anywhere. And then I have one here and one here. That should do it. All right, guys, installation is complete. This looks amazing, zero regrets. It completely transforms the bike. I'm so glad I went with matte carbon and not gloss. I wasn't really sure what to decide because I've never seen one in person before, gloss or matte. What a difference. So I haven't done the other side yet, but the other side is identical. You have to remove the fairing, the air intake, rear sets. The only difference is that for the rear swing arm, you don't have to remove the exhaust. So it makes it a little more quicker, I would say. So now that I look at it, I know for sure I need to replace the rear sets with black rear sets because this stands out too much. And I think black rear sets would make the whole theme mats better. But before I do rear sets, I know the two next installs I'm going to be doing is one, first of all, I'm going to be changing the seat. I'm going to be doing a suede Louis Moto seat. I love Louis Moto, so I do it every time I get a bike, I do a Louis Moto seat. So Next probably will be Louis Moto seat, but I also have triple clamp with Bonamitsu clip-ons. I'm going to be changing that too, so stay tuned for these two installs. Once I complete all the installs, the clip-ons and the triple clamp and the seat, I think what I'm going to be doing is a quick walk around. I'm going to make a video of a walk around of the mods that I've installed so far and what the plan is for the next mods. So I'm going to be going into depth on every mod that I've done, but for now, let me give you a quick close-up of the matte carbon. Goes great with the GP22. Guys, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.